All right, Larry Krueger here from the Pig and a Pickle Krug Show with a little 49er video. Patrick Willis is headed to Canton, Ohio. Is he deserving of the Hall of Fame? We will hit that coming up next. But first, we're brought to you by Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. Check them out. They're in Emeryville and Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. or until they run out. Pig and a Pickle. Go say hi to Damon and Mary and have some brisket chili, and tell them that Krug sent you. And this video is also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Check the link in the description. Use that promo code Krug, K-R-U-E-G, and they'll match you up to your first $100. All right, let's talk a little bit about the Pro Football Hall of Fame class of 2024. And it's a star-studded group this year. It always is. But this year, there's a lot of modern players that a lot of people have heard of, and it's going to be a fun enshrinement. And I can't wait to hear the speeches. But this year, the Hall of Fame class is Dwight Freeney, Randy Gradishar, Devin Hester, Andre Johnson, Julius Peppers, Steve McMichael, and the 49ers' own Patrick Willis. And I want to talk about Willis and if he's deserving for the Hall of Fame. But let's talk briefly about each one of these guys. Dwight Freeney was an amazing player at Syracuse. I think he ran like 4.68 coming out. He was really, really fast. He was 18th all-time in sacks with 125 and a half, 7-time Pro Bowler. I mean, he was a blue-chip athlete who stepped right into the NFL and became just a blue-chip, awesome defensive end and was one of the best of all time. So there's no question he belongs in the Hall of Fame. 125 and a half career sacks and, 270 pounds with just, unbelievable, near 4.5 speed. Randy Gradishar. Randy Gradishar played for Red Miller in Denver. He was part of that Orange Crush defense, which was named by the great writer Woody Page from the Denver area. He's the one who came up with the name Orange Crush defense. Joe Collier was the defensive coordinator. Red Miller was the head coach of the Broncos. They went to Super Bowl 12. Gradishar was a defensive player of the year in 1978 with that incredible Orange Crush defense, which, featuring Lyle Alzado and others. 7-time Pro Bowler, tremendous tackler, tremendous hitter. This guy should have been in the Hall of Fame long ago, but Randy Gradishar, Hall of Famer. Devin Hester, this is the first real return man solely a return man to make the Hall of Fame. He was a wide receiver, but he was also a corner, but he was also a return man. He's the NFL's record holder for kickoff and punt return touchdowns with 19. He had 250 reception seasons in a 12-year NFL career. He also had years where he played a lot of games at corner. So, is he a corner? Is he a receiver? He's really a dominating kick returner, and that's why he's going to the Hall of Fame. He's the greatest return man of all time. Devin Hester was just a spectacular return man. Andre Johnson, the wide receiver, 14-year career, 12 of those years with the Houston Texans, 7-time Pro Bowler, just a very, very solid, kind of understated receiver. Never played on great teams with Houston, but what a career he had. And then Julius Peppers, 9-time Pro Bowler, the defensive end, who was a two-sport athlete at North Carolina, if you remember. He played hoops and football, and then jumped to the NFL, became 4th all-time in sacks with 159 and a half. Peppers had 10 seasons of 10 or more sacks. And not only did he sack the quarterback, he also picked off passes. He had 11 career interceptions. So Julius Peppers, one of the big defensive ends of his era, big-bodied guy. What a tremendous player he was. Steve Mongo McMichael for the Bears on the 85 Bears. 95 career sacks for McMichael, 4th most ever for a defensive tackle since 1982. 7 seasons for McMichael where he had at least 8 sacks. What a tough guy he really was throughout his career. Part of one of the great pillars of strength on that defensive line, which was arguably the greatest defensive line of all time. The 85 Bears defense was second to none. And then Patrick Willis, the 49er inside linebacker. He had 600 tackle seasons. He led the NFL in tackles twice. And let's talk a little bit about Willis because, to me, both these linebackers, Randy Gradishar and Patrick Willis, are guys that, that were tremendous tacklers, incredible players. I mean, Gradishar was a 7-time Pro Bowler, just like Willis. He played his entire 10-year career in Denver. Willis played 8 seasons, 2007 through 2014, all with the 49ers. Willis was a prolific tackler. He played in the modern passing era, but he twice led the league in solo and combined tackles in 2007 and 2009. It's Patrick Willis had a lot to overcome. He grew up in a rural part of the country in a trailer park. He was working in the cotton fields by the time he was 9-10 years old. He had to overcome a very poor home situation with a father who had problems with alcohol and wasn't sounding like the greatest father of all time. But Willis had a strong personal work ethic, and he just, he was not even recruited by the Tennessee Vols, even though he was from the state of Tennessee. He became a consensus All-American at Ole Miss. He won the Defensive Rookie of the Year award honors after being picked 11th overall by the Niners in the 2007 draft. And, you're talking about one of the great linebackers of really any era. And injuries caused his career to be cut short. And so he joins guys like Jim Brown and Gale Sayers and Lynn Swann and Megatron and Terrell Davis, who left the game by age 30 or younger. And that's part of his story. But what an incredible football player Patrick Willis was. And to me, for him to overcome what he overcame and to become the player that he was, and a leader on and off the field. I mean, I thought there was a chance that Patrick would have to wait a while for induction into the Hall of Fame because he did have a short career, but that's how great he was. And that's how respected he was. And that's how, top to bottom, what a clean prospect he was as a Hall of Famer, because he was just a dominant player. We never, in some ways, Patrick Willis for Niner fans is like Joe DiMaggio for Yankee fans. Yankee fans never saw the decline of DiMaggio. Well, Niner fans never really saw the decline of Willis. He was always great. And in just his the injuries that he had to his feet forced him to leave the game early. But man, Patrick Willis, there was a time when Patrick Willis and Navarro Bowman were, I think, the best inside linebacker duo the game's ever seen. These two guys single-handedly, as a duo, I should say, covered that second level of defense. And, you think of those 49er defensive teams that Harbaugh had and how great they were. Well, they were largely incredible. I mean, people talked a lot about Justin Smith and Alden Smith up front, but man, it was Willis and Bowman on that second level and Whitner and Goldson on the third level that were just super intimidating and super physical. So without a doubt, in my mind, Patrick Willis is very, very deserving for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Congrats to Patrick and his family. And I can't wait to hear his speech. Thanks to all of you guys for supporting the Krug Show. Thanks to Pig and a Pickle for being the title sponsor of the Krug Show. Thanks to Underdog Fantasy for sponsoring this video. And thanks to all you guys for supporting the Krug Show on YouTube.